Hey, Roger Martin here in Billings, Montana. This Ruth, Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been pushed on the Supreme Court for a long time. She wasn't even given a very hard test to get through to the Supreme Court. But more importantly, they're using experimental drugs on her to keep her alive. And I think they've been using experimental drugs on her for a while. And this is why she's been able to live and get through pancreatic cancer, lung cancer, and other cancers that she's got.
Roberts. Liberal commentators and U.S. senators who are salivating at the upcoming interrogations of Roberts never asked Ginsburg about her extremist views spelled out in her lengthy paper trail. The senators didn't have to do much research. I made it easy for them by publishing her words in my July 1993 Phyllis Schlafly report.
So Phyllis Schlafly had this report of how liberal and biased she was. She should have never been appointed as a Supreme Court judge in the first place, but the liberal politicians pushed her through.
And this goes on and on and on, showing that none of the senators ever asked her anything. So Q says, who are the doctors currently treating Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Now, this is an important question. Even more importantly is why is she allowed special medical treatment that is not allowed by other doctors or other people? It's all to keep her alive because they're panicking like hell.
Well, we know that Clinton appointed Ginsburg, and she got confirmed 96-3. Amazing. Here's a little back history in her medical condition. Ginsburg reportedly fell and she fractured her ribs. During this, cancer nodules were found on her lungs, and she began treatment at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer in New York. Thoracic surgeon Valerie Rush of Memorial Sloan Kettering Hospital was taking care of her. She's the one who removed the nodules. What other former, current, senior political heads are they affiliated with? Q says. What off-market drugs are being provided to Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Off-market drugs, experimental drugs to keep her alive. This is how desperate they are in keeping her alive. And I believe this is why she's outlived her 2 or 3 bouts with cancer, because they've been using experimental drugs on her even before this time. Can't prove it, but I'll bet it's been going on.
In order to sustain minimum daily function. What is the real medical diagnosis of Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Who is managing her care? Who is really managing her care? Most likely the clowns are trying to keep her alive here. The clock is ticking. It looks like she might not have that much time left. Panic in D.C. Why are they panicking? Because if she dies, and some people are saying maybe she died already, Trump will be able to appoint another Supreme Court justice. Now, and Annan put this together and pointed out who the doctors are. One we already mentioned, Dr. Valerie Rush. Another doctor is Dr. John Lazar. And there are many other doctors that are trying to help her. And we do know that the clowns, they're also involved here trying to keep her alive. The Annan also pointed to drugs. Phase 2 trial of neoadjuvant bevacizumab, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, plus chemotherapy and other drugs that are being used to keep her alive. So once again, if she does pass away, guess what? The Patriots, Trump, they can put another Supreme Court justice in her place. Now, the deep state, Clinton and the rest, must be pretty darn worried. Because if she's recovering, why did Hillary Clinton tweet this out? I'll be joining New York Governor Cuomo as he lays out his plan to codify Roe v. Wade and pass the Reproductive Health Act. There's no time to wait. Seems like they're panicking a little.
This Reproductive Health Act, it's a total sham. It should be looked at more closely. And it should be passed. It shouldn't codify Roe v. Wade. Again, they're panicking. They want this passed while she's still alive. We'll see.
A little bit, doesn't it? Seems like they're a little bit nervous here. So another Annan put together Ruth Bader Ginsburg and the pen and the watch that we showed in last report about where Q put up the pen, the watch, and Trump was in Camp David, and said the following. Watch says 3:15. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, March 15th, 1933, 3:15. The Guardian posted about a documentary on RBG on January 3rd, 2019, preparing for her death. Is she dead already? Maybe, maybe not.
Preparing for her death. I'm sure they're fighting like hell if she isn't already dead. But we don't know. Really haven't heard anything from her. She didn't get to the oral arguments today. Time will tell really what's going on with her. If she dies, all hell will break loose to get in a third Supreme Court judge by Trump